Genesis chapter 8. Daily AI Bible study. The storm had passed. The floodwaters covered the earth. The ark floated upon an endless sea. Noah and his family had obeyed God's command. They had trusted his promise, but now they waited. Day after day, week after week, month after month. Would the waters ever recede? Had God forgotten them? Genesis chapter 8 answers one of the most beautiful truths in Scripture. God never forgets his people. The chapter begins with these powerful words. But God remembered Noah. This does not mean that God had forgotten Noah and suddenly remembered him. In the Bible, when God remembers someone, it means he is about to act on their behalf. God remembered Noah. God remembered his family. God remembered every living creature inside the ark. And God sent a wind over the earth. The waters began to recede. The flood that had covered the world was slowly coming to an end. Notice something important. Noah had no control over the storm. He had no control over the flood. And he had no control over how quickly the waters disappeared. His responsibility was simply to trust God. Many times in life, we find ourselves waiting for answers, waiting for healing, waiting for direction, waiting for God to move. Genesis 8 reminds us that God's timing is not our timing, but his faithfulness never fails. Have you ever experienced a season where you felt forgotten by God? What does Genesis 8 teach us about waiting on him? In the 7th month, the ark came to rest upon the mountains of Ararat. For the first time, Noah was no longer drifting. The ark had found solid ground. Yet Noah still waited. The mountains could be seen. The flood was ending. But God had not yet told him to leave. Sometimes we see signs that God is working. We see progress, we see improvement, we see doors beginning to open. But that does not always mean it is time to move. Noah teaches us patience. He waited not only for the flood to end, he waited for God's instruction. Do you sometimes act before seeking God's direction? What can Noah's patience teach us? After many days, Noah opened a window in the ark. First, he sent out a raven. The raven flew back and forth. Then Noah sent out a dove. But the dove found no place to rest, so it returned to the ark. 7 days later, Noah sent the dove again. This time, the dove returned carrying a freshly plucked olive leaf. The waters were receding. Life was returning. 7 days later, Noah released the dove once more. This time it did not return. The earth was becoming habitable again. The olive leaf became a symbol of peace. The dove became a symbol of hope. Even after judgment, God was preparing a future. Even after destruction, God was bringing restoration. Sometimes God sends small signs of encouragement before the full answer arrives. The olive leaf was not the complete restoration, but it was proof that restoration was coming. Can you identify moments when God gave you small signs of hope during difficult seasons? Finally, God spoke. Come out of the ark, you and your wife, your sons and their wives. Noah had waited patiently. Now God gave the instruction. The flood was over. A new beginning had arrived. The earth was ready once again. Every animal left the ark. Birds filled the skies. Creatures spread across the land. Humanity received a second chance. Notice that Noah did not leave the ark simply because the ground looked dry. He left because God said so. Obedience is not merely doing the right thing. It is doing the right thing at the right time. How can we become more sensitive to God's timing rather than relying only on our own understanding? The first thing Noah did after leaving the ark was remarkable. He did not build a house. He did not plant crops. He did not focus on rebuilding his life. Instead, Noah built an altar to the Lord, and he worshipped. After all God had done, his first response was gratitude. Many people pray passionately when they need help. But how often do we stop to worship after God answers? Noah teaches us that gratitude should follow deliverance. Worship should follow blessing. What is usually your first response after God answers a prayer? Is it gratitude, or simply moving on to the next need? The Lord was pleased with Noah's worship. Then God made a promise. Never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. And God declared, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. The flood had ended, but God's faithfulness would continue, the seasons would continue, life would continue, hope would continue. This promise reminds us that God's mercy triumphs over judgment. Even after humanity's failure, God continued his plan. Even after the flood, God remained faithful. How does God's faithfulness encourage you when you face uncertainty about the future? Key lessons from Genesis 8:1. God never forgets his people. 2. Waiting requires faith. 3. God's timing is perfect. 4. Small signs of hope matter. 5. Obedience includes patience. 6. Gratitude should follow deliverance. 7. God's faithfulness remains constant. Genesis chapter 8 is a chapter about hope. The storm ended. The waters receded. The ark rested. Noah worshipped. And God reaffirmed his faithfulness. No matter how long the storm lasts, God remembers his people. No matter how deep the waters seem, God is still working. And just as Noah stepped into a new beginning, God continues to lead his people into new seasons of hope. This is the story and study of Genesis chapter 8. Join us for Genesis chapter 9, where God establishes his covenant with Noah and places a rainbow in the sky as a sign of his promise